Hello beautiful people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchiimoh. On this channel I talk about cake business and I share tips and strategies on how you can grow your cake business. I'm an international award-winning cake artist that is based in Manchester, the United Kingdom, and you're welcome. If you're stopping by my channel for the first time, thank you so much for stopping to watch this video. I am sure you're going to love it and you're going to enjoy being on this channel. And also, if you've been here, thank you so much for always being here and for your support throughout the years. In today's video, I'm going to be addressing something that we've talked about a little bit. Yes, and that is not a little bit. I mean, I gave time to answering your questions. So it's about cake decorating challenges or cake decorating problems that bakers face and bakers are having. I know that it's not just about knowing how to bake. What about the decorating? Now, if you're struggling with some aspects of cake decorating, a particular technique or a particular skill, and you want to know what to do, I'm going to be sharing tips in this video and breaking it down, probably sharing some B-rolls so that you can see while I explain how you can overcome these challenges. So if this is you, get something to eat, drink, relax as we get right into the video. You're welcome back. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is getting a straight edge when frosting. What I want you to understand with regards to this is that there's a method to this and there's a way it works. First of all, for buttercream, if you want to get a straight edge, you need to get a good bench scraper, right? So for your buttercream, you need to get a good bench scraper. Not all bench scrapers are effective, sorry to say, but not everything you use as a bench scraper or every tool that comes as a bench scraper is going to help you achieve a straight edge. So you need to get the right and the sharp bench scraper. I've made a video about this. I'm going to link it so that you can see and you can watch, and that's the first step. Do I say that the first step is having a sharp edge with the cake? I think people underrate this, and this is the first thing that you need to know. So I shared a video on freezing your cakes, and if you've not watched that video or you watched it halfway and you dropped because I saw the analytics, so if you did not watch it, there's a tip I shared in that video. I want you to go and watch it. Now, if you are not particular about the edge of your cake, you're going to struggle, especially when it comes to making fondant cakes and getting sharp edges. So nothing should tamper with the edge of your cake. Nothing should tamper with the edge of your cake, right? So that's where you want to start from. The second thing is to get the right tool, bench scraper for your buttercream and your whipped cream and your SMBC cakes, and also using the right method. Now, when it comes to buttercream scraping, you need to come either towards you or away from you. Either way works just fine, but you need to know what to do. I find that some bakers, when they want to comb the edges of their frosting or when they want to comb the edges of their cake to get a sharp edge, they're going over, because I've handled physical classes as well. I've done physical classes as well. And when you're teaching, you find out that some people are going over the buttercream to scrape towards themselves. No, you put your scraper on the edge, right on the edge of the cake, and you scrape towards you or scrape away from you, but make sure that you're holding it right and you're starting right from the edge and using the right scraping tool. So that's how to get the sharp edge or sharp frosting, sharp edge for your buttercream, whipped cream, or SMBC cakes. Now, for sharp edge for fondants, what you want to do is to use the paneling method. It's okay if you cover all at once. You can also get the sharp edge with that, but for me, an easy way is to do paneling. Either I cover the top first or the sides before the top. What I used to do was to cover the sides first and then I cover the top. That way it's easy for me and I have my sharp edge. Of course, you would have some seams, and the way you can do this or work to cover the seams is to flip it over and then push your fondant down. Just as you can see, push the fondant down, make the two parts of this fondant meet, the one for the top and the one for the sides, and then use a sharp knife or a sharp tool to cut off the excess. If you cannot do that, then please, you can make a matched fondant and neatly use to close this seam, especially when you have the seam on top of the cake. And I hope this helps. Paneling is just the easiest way for me to get sharp edges for my fondant cake. So you want to consider this and try practicing with a dummy or with a small cake. Practice and practice until you get a hang of it. The next thing I'll be talking about is sticking your edible prints or sticking your paper prints to your buttercream without it getting stained, without it getting soaked, because your buttercream would seep through it and then you have these patches of oil. I don't know if you can relate with that. If you can find the picture, I would stick it for you so you will see. So what you want to do in sticking your edible prints or your paper prints is to first place it on fondant I do not put my prints directly onto my buttercream cakes because they would soak and it would mess up my cake. They will mess up the finishing of my cake. They will mess up the aesthetics of my cake. And I don't usually like that. I've gone past that stage. So what I do is to first of all have my edible prints placed on a thin piece of fondant that I roll out, or whether it's edible or paper prints, I usually would put it on fondant first, dampen it up. When I've rolled it, I would dampen it with some water and then put my prints on it neatly and then cut out the shade before I dampen the back again and then place it on my cake. This works all the time. It works for fondant as well, and it also works for buttercream. So please avoid putting your prints directly onto the cake because the oil is going to seep, it's going to pass through, and you wouldn't like how it's looking. It doesn't look nice at all. It doesn't look appealing at all, and it doesn't give your cake that premium look that you want. So please place on fondant before placing on your cake, okay? The third thing is air pockets in buttercream. Now, if you're having air pockets in your buttercream or air pockets in your whipped cream, what you want to do first of all is to try not to beat on high speed for too long. Do not beat on high speed for too long. If you do that, you're going to incorporate much more air than you need and you would have air pockets. But if this happens, one way to remedy this is to beat on low speed. So use your paddle attachment and reduce it to the lowest speed and then beat for some minutes. If you don't achieve results with that, or you're not satisfied with the results you get, then you want to either put it in a bowl or leave it in your mixing bowl and beat it towards yourself. So get your spatula and beat it towards yourself. So like you're beating it like so, stirring it, beating it towards yourself. So that's what you want to do to get rid of air pockets, and it works. I promise you, it works. So try doing this and to help you get rid of your air pockets. But first thing you want to know is do not incorporate too much air into your buttercream. Now the fourth thing is fondant cracks. First of all, with fondant, you need to get the right recipe. If you do not have the right recipe, sorry, you might just be struggling anytime you have fondant cake. Your heart will skip when you get fondant cake orders. You'll just be worried. But if you get the right recipe, you'll rest assured that it's going to be a breeze to some extent. So if you have cracks in your fondant and you want to fix that, it might be that the CMC is much, so consider reducing the CMC just a little bit. You need your CMC for elasticity, so do not reduce it way too much that your fondant will not stretch, to not be pliable anymore. So consider reducing the CMC or the tylose powder. Some people know it as tylose powder in some locations, so you want to reduce this. Another thing is this: try adding some water to it. So add water and then add shortening to it, Crisco if you have, and then knead it in. Don't do it in bulk. Don't do it to the whole fondant. Put them in pieces, like put them in little pieces, divide them into little pieces, and then add water to it and shorten as well, and then knead it. So when you're done kneading bit by bit, the batches that you've split them into, bring them all together and then knead them well. Okay, so if you do not have a good recipe, consider getting a good one. And if you do not have the means to get a good one yet, or buy a good recipe yet, or get enrolled in a fondant class yet, please try this thing that I've talked about. Some little water, reduce the CMC, and also you might consider adding the glucose. I do not want to go into that so I do not complicate things for you, but please try this thing that I've shared, and I bet that it will work for you really fine. Now the fourth one, I think I'm on track. Fourth or fifth one, I don't know, let me know in the comments. So it is trimming cakes. Some people have told me that watching videos doesn't even help with trimming cakes. So the thing is this, the simple trick is this, okay? When you're trimming your cakes, which I shared in my video, I think I have a playlist of cake trimming videos. I'm going to post it for you to see, but just because you're here, I'm also going to share that again. The tip is this: lock your hand to your side, okay? You see this your right hand or your left? I don't know. Okay, so you see this your right hand, lock it to your side. Hold your trimming knife and then with your left hand turn your turntable. Do not put your knife and move from right to left when you're starting out. And if you do not know how to use this skill very well, it is safer and it is better for you to lock your hand to the side, hold your knife in place, and then let your turntable do the movement for you. So you're turning and then your knife is in place in a particular position, and then you keep going around, What happens is this, or what will happen is this: your knife would take off the layer you need in a leveled fashion, in a leveled way. So please this is one thing you want to know. Lock your hand to your side, hold your trimming knife, and let your left do the trimming. If you're left-handed, you want to hold your hand, lock your hand to the left, and then use your right to turn your turntable. And I believe that you would get this. Okay, so that is it for trimming your cakes. And I'm also going to put the playlist. Please take time to go through all these videos that I have, listen, follow the method, and you would get it. I promise you will get it. Now, another challenge is this colors. When it comes to mixing colors, I've made a video on getting bright colors for your cakes. Please, if you have not seen that video, I will link it as well for you, maybe in the description box or at the end of the video or within this video, so you can watch it. You need to move out of the zone. I know I used to be a lover of blue and pink, but just as someone said, one of my subscribers said she wants to move to other safer colors other than just blue and pink, and I quite understand her. So feel free to experiment, feel free to explore with colors. Not experiment per se, but feel free to explore with colors. Try things like lilac, try colors like teal. There is teal, it looks like green and it looks like blue. You can try brown as well. You can try black. You can try yellow as well, and just mix and match colors. Just keep trying to get a good brand of color. Like I mentioned in that video, get yourself a quality brand of color that when they say blue on the container or when they say blue on the pack, it is actually blue. So try other shades of colors. It doesn't always have to be royal blue. Try sky blue, try powdered blue, try lilac, try purple, try fuchsia pink, try baby pink, try light pink. Just keep trying different shades of colors, and you will find that with time you're able to explore without being afraid. I know bakers who use colors a lot. One of them is my teachers, and I love how she makes use of colors. She's not afraid to try. She uses colors to a large extent. So just begin to test the waters bit by bit, and you'll find that you would get a hang of it, and you'll be able to explore with any color at all that you want. Now, another challenge is gritty and rough buttercream. I have made a video long before now when I started on how to get smooth buttercream. Now I see that for some people it's not compulsory. I've seen it live. People not saving their buttercream and they're just using it for baking. For me, I'm always a sieve your icing sugar person. I'm a sieve your icing sugar baker, so you will always find me saving my buttercream. I do not want to have any issues of lumps. If you have bought your icing sugar, saving my icing sugar, I beg your pardon. So for me, I'm always a fan of sieve your icing baker. I'm just that baker who always will sieve my icing sugar before I use it for my fondant or use it for my buttercream. Now I know that some people are not bothered about this, especially in other climes. You just go ahead to use your icing sugar. If that works fine for you, it's okay. But if you're struggling with rough buttercream, sandy, rough looking buttercream, gritty buttercream, please sieve your icing sugar. That's just a simple thing. Sieve your icing sugar, especially if you've bought and stored it for long, or you bought it from the store and you know it's cakey, it's caked already. You want to break it down and then sieve your icing sugar so that it comes out like fine, clean powder. Okay, so these are some of the challenges that cake decorators face or bakers face, and I hope that these tips have been able to help you to shed light on what you can do to resolve and to solve these challenges. Please don't forget to like this video. If you've watched up till now, you're the real MVP. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and also drop me a kind comment. Until I see you in my next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.